Well, we're back. This is Madman with a Show on Cast TV. I am Zane. What can I say? It's not been a great little time period. I have been ill myself, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But I'm feeling better. I'm able to do some things now. I just want to first say thank you for the viewers the subscribers that have stayed with this channel, and a lot of you have been going to my back episodes that you probably might have not seen yet or stuff like that. I tell you, monitoring what was going on while we were down temporarily. It was great to see a lot of people watching the programming, and welcome to the new subscribers, because we did get a bunch of subscribers on there, and I do appreciate that. Just to get off here, and I just want to get this off my chest before anything else. Did I not call this, or did I not call this when this was announced? When you start to build a website, and you're as big as a company as Disney is, and you're trying to get into that streaming wars. The one thing that Netflix is one up on is that they've gone through these issues and stuff like that. And, it's going to take time to build up your audience, even though you're going to have a lot of people sign in and stuff like that. But, you're going to have an audience that basically, you have to build it up from there. Now, the reason I say this, Disney Plus, this was day one. And already off the bat, a lot of people were having problems. I think it started around 7 a.m. Eastern Savings Time. That's on our side, of course. And it showed about almost 7,000 reports by 7:30 a.m. Now, I can understand. They said, hey, listen, people rushed through. It was really early, the first shot and stuff like that. But when you have a rollout, you want to make sure you're not going to have these issues immediately. That's why you should be running test runs in the back to make sure you don't have stuff like this. Now, when I was recording this, as far as that, some systems were up, some systems were down. I think, what was it? Let's see. Yeah, it's still, as of about an hour ago, when we recorded this, it was still having a lot of issues. Now, was the Disney site overwhelmed? No, because of this. If it was that it was overwhelmed and a lot of people signing in, you wouldn't have been able to log in and basically sign up for the services. You would have had a problem having that. As far as logging in and signing up, no issues. As far as getting content, that's the story on there. Is the content itself was unavailable, and you wouldn't be able to see the stuff that you wanted to see. But I've heard some people were able to get to see some of the stuff, because I know some of my other fellow YouTubers are doing Mandalorian reviews and stuff like that. Some people have started talking about the site, but through and through, it's you're going to expect this. And hello, HBO Max, you're going to go through the same thing too. Unless you drop yourself to the point that you open up the app to service a couple people at that time period, and basically, you try to squeeze the bugs out of the system on there. In fact, I'm looking up right on there, and sorry if I sound a little distracted. I'm still trying to pull up information on there, and there's still people down as far as Disney Plus goes. They're saying that they're having issues. They're still suffering issues. Other states, as we're going on, we're at the lunchtime moment here when we're recording this. The West Coast is starting to kick in on that as well. But all in all, you kind of expect new big site. A lot of people want to see some of the stuff on there, and you kind of expect Disney, and as big as Disney has, Disney does they do a lot of computer work, systems work throughout their amusement parks and stuff like that, and they should be able to handle this much issues as normally has. But like I said, people have been putting down Netflix for quite some time, and I can understand for some of the issues and some on there. But see, the one thing up as far as the streaming wars, Netflix has been added for quite some time. So when you're new to the game, you be sure that you're lining up the service, basically, that make sure that service is running good. Because the people will jump right back over to Netflix. Because Netflix has gotten a couple of... While I was in bed sick, let me tell you, there was a couple of movies I saw, and there was the classics. There was the movie with Orson Welles and Edward G. Robinson, The Stranger. Really, really good movie. If you've not seen it, it's a really good movie. It's about a Nazi hunter who's trying to find a Nazi commandant in Connecticut. It's really, really good on there. Edward G. Robinson plays the Nazi hunter. And, of course, Orson Welles is the Nazi. The other thing was that Fantastic Planet was on there. And, that movie, Leslie Nielsen, that was a shocker. That was on there. I got to watch that a couple of times. Besides my wife getting me... I think I didn't post it on my regular site. I think I posted it on my personal site. I did get the... Godzilla Showa era from the Criterion Collection, and I've been watching a lot of that. And another episode we'll discuss that as well, on there if I liked it, disliked it. And, it's a good set. It's a very good set on there. But getting back to Disney, one of the things that getting away from the problems that they've been that the company's been having, is one of the things that people have been bringing up. Is that they're bringing out the vault? They're opening up the vault to everything. There's one movie that should be brought out, and hey, you may get mad below and say, hey, that's a racist movie and stuff like that. I say see it for yourself, and basically, take in what the movie is, and that is Song of the South. And, you can get Song of the South on DVD overseas. They allow it overseas. They just don't allow it on this end of the world. Because they said, oh, it's just racist and all that. But if it is, then why does Disney have a ride named for it? It's not called Song of the South. It's Splash Mountain. And it's the animated characters from the Song of the South. If you've not gone on Splash Mountain, you can go on Splash Mountain. It's the characters from Song of the South. Minus Uncle Remus. That's the only thing, is that Uncle Remus does not show up on there. And, lately there's been people just been trying to just erase everything, from the past. Now, Song of the South has been there for a long, long time, and it should have been released. It doesn't matter what someone thinks of it and stuff like that. I heard a story that it upset Maya Angelou. And I think someone in Disney Corp was like, "Oh, if she's upset about it, I don't think we should put the movie out." And that's incorrect. If one person doesn't like the movie because of what they believe in, their values, and going with slavery and stuff like that, that's one person. And the thing about it is, you don't even know if she saw it. Nonetheless. There have been plenty of movies out there about slavery and the days of slavery and stuff like that. Some of it controversial, some of it on there. And I don't hear bans for them. A lot of people say that, like, for example, Roots by Alex Haley was plagiarized. But nobody's called for the movie to be removed or anything like that. The case has been resolved. But nobody's asked the removal of it. And, we just had the Harriet Tubman movie out, done by someone I'm familiar with, Casey Lemons. And I think it's a little bit over the top. And I know some people says that there was some things that were added to the movie that were not really there in the history of Harriet Tubman. but nobody's asking for the pulling of that movie. It's it's subjective when you look at certain things, and from the past, especially from the way in the past, movies that were made way in the past. Like a lot of the Warner Brothers cartoons. Now they put the little thing on the beginning of it. Hey, listen, it's from a time period. They're on there. But you shouldn't have to put stuff like that on there. You should always have that thought in your mind. Say, hey, listen, this is jokes from the past. What can you do? Are you going to tag every single movie, from before 1960 with an apology on it? Saying like, hey, listen, this was from this time period. People thought differently on that. People thought differently of everything. Writings, book writings, radio shows, stuff like that. That was then. This is now. So, Disney, get off your butt. Let Song of the South be played. If you don't want it on the Disney Plus site, run it over to Hulu. I guarantee you would have such an increase, in volume of people to see it. Because I know there's a lot of people. I mean, I'm shocked Whoopi Goldberg asked for that to be shown. But then again, she said the same thing. You can't hide the past. I heard from, what was it, a story while I was in bed and I was reading it in a paper from England. The guy wants to just remove World War II from school because it's gonna cause mental problems on there. It's like, it's we gotten into a mentality that we have to remove the past so we can move forward and not know nothing of it. But that's the mistakes that we make. If we don't learn from the past, we make the same mistakes over and over again, and that's what happens. So comment below. Tell me what you think of the whole situation here. That Disney's down, or sort of down, up, down, left, right on there. Have you gotten the site? Have you looked at it? You're enjoying it? Are you down where you're waiting for something to happen? Nothing's happening, or are you just waiting? Don't forget, we are on Minds and Gab.com. We're on there. Like I said in the beginning, just a little piece. It's the next couple of weeks is going to be sporadic as far as the shows. We're going to try to do a couple of days worth. American Asylum right now is questionable this week. We'll let you know what's going on. Like I said, my health is very important. It's first. And thank you for those who basically knew about it and basically sent some well wishes on there. And like I said, I'm getting better and better. It takes a little time. I have to see a couple of specialists. So we just got to carry on with the situation, do our best. Like I said, we're still here. We still have our issues with YouTube and stuff like that. Also gave me a little time to look at that perspective while I was in bed on there, while watching the shows that were getting views. So I have a couple of things to cross over with and change over, and hopefully that'll help us get more attention from people. So until the next episode, hopefully we'll be up in tomorrow. Thank you for watching Madman with the Show on Q to Cast.